Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hurricane. Welcome to Mike Herren's podcast city. Today's a special day for me because I got two of my guys here, okay? And we connected a long time ago at WSAI when they just started doing their thing. I remember I got in trouble because I think I kept you guys for like 2 hours, right? It was supposed to be like a 15-minute segment, and like the phones are lighting up, people are going crazy, but you know, I always seem to get into a little bit of trouble over there. But man, what an amazing story! What an amazing ride! I mean, this is it's unbelievable what these guys have turned. I don't want to ever call it a hobby because that's being a little dismissive and it's not giving it due justice, but a passion, a cottage career when it started. I'm talking about when it started. Now you guys are full-blown entertainers, performers at, you know, your Travis Field. You guys are the equivalent of a rock band or a comic or anybody who travels, you know, nationally and internationally. But to take that concept and do what you guys are able to do with it is absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure, okay, at Hurricane Studio to bring in the Portuguese guys, man. You want to introduce yourself? We got the man with the plan right there, my man, D.
All right, my name is Derek DeMello.
Okay, and my man right over there.
This is Brian Martins for a little Portuguese spice.
Yeah,
That's right.
Damn it. Can I take mine back?
That's right. Now, there are three of you.
There's three of us,
obviously.
Al's
Al's
shining his shoes, I think.
Yeah, doing Visitas.
Yeah, he's
And then there was the other one. Who was that?
Jason Casmero, Jay.
That's right, Jay.
Jay.
a good-looking one.
Yeah,
Good-looking
and you guys had the operations guy. His father owned the Boston pub. What was his name when I first met?
You talking about Danny?
Danny, yeah.
Yes,
Danny Martins.
Danny Martins. He
He's
was
the-
our sound guy. He's our sound guy.
Yeah.
Now he's my janitor. I really hope he Danny, get my laundry done, brother. Come on.
How did you guys meet? I mean, did you guys meet in school, through sports, through church, through the Portuguese community?
St. Anthony, right down the street.
Right down the street.
Really?
Yeah, we all grew up in the neighborhood.
Padua.
Sure.
Yeah.
St. Anthony of Padua.
Right in the side of
We're
the
all
books.
members of the same church.
So you guys have had more than your fish or street sandwiches from Billy's, I would imagine, right?
Forget about it.
There.
This is where it used to happen. 100 years of grease on these walls.
100 years of Greece, man. There, go Marzilli's down the street.
Oh, yeah, come on, you can't beat it.
Classics. Macaroni shop.
Macaroni shop.
Macaroni
I know.
shop.
Oh.
What do you want? What do you want, goddammit?
Garlic bread supreme, please.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
right, the
That-
garlic
oh,
bread.
man.
What was that, like 25 cents for the
Yeah.
garlic bread?
That's
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Man.
Good times. Good
Those
memories.
These guys are real Fall River, man. Believe it when I tell you
OG,
that.
OG.
So,
Fall
OGs,
River, man,
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
all grew up in the same neighborhood, right down the street, went to the
Now-
same church.
all four of you did, all the four original Horsemen, right?
Yeah.
I did it. That's interesting. How did you come up with the acting? You know, back then, let's say like what 90s, right? You know, early 2000s. You know, a kid, a kid from an immigrant culture, or anybody from Florida, you know, they say they want to act. You know, there's really not enough outlets for that. You know, everybody thinks their kid's going to be the next Derek Jeter.
Yep.
Everybody thinks their kid's going to be the next Larry Bird. You know, I mean, how many times have
My dad thought his kid was going to be the next,
Louis Fieg?
the next supervisor at the construction crew.
Yeah, there you go. Why are you wasting your time on that? You can make good money on the road. Of course. And it happens a lot. And I tell some of these past people, I say, listen, your kid doesn't want to play basketball, man. Buy him a guitar. That's what he wants to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know how it goes.
Yep.
In blue-collar
course.
towns, sometimes, dreams aren't as cultivated
Right.
as they probably.
Well, my dad owned his own construction business, so the idea was, as the oldest son, I would
take over.
continue that.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
like you're saying, the dreams.
But that's why we did this a little bit later too. Like we weren't 18. We were like
Yeah.
mid 20s already.
Sure.
So like we kind of said, listen, this is a really cool opportunity. If we do this right, we might be able to, do this full time. Maybe not forever, you know what I mean? But even just say that we did it 10, 15 years, and this is year 15 right now. So like, knock on wood, we took a chance and it worked out. And that's thanks to like the great network of fans that we've got, but it all started.
And your hard work.
Of course.
And your vision. Because I remember being like, listen, everybody in every band, there's different personality dynamics, okay? But I felt that you were the vision. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
Was Derek the vision of saying, okay, we can take this to 2 or 3 higher levels and make a career out of it?
Yeah. I was the first one to be like, guys, I think we can go full time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, Brian was afraid to even just write. I was like, Brian, you can do this. I'm just kidding. No, but in many ways, I was the one that was always pushing us to go to that next level because I knew, and I knew I couldn't do it alone, obviously. So, I knew that I had a really good network with Jay, Brian, and Al. I said, these guys... I knew that together we were something really special. And I was just like, listen, just
now. How did you know? Like singers in the South Bronx and in Philly, they get this start on a corner with a trash can on fire, and they're singing and stay warm, and they're singing for a little bit of change, and they're singing with their boys. You know what I mean? Yeah. When do you guys first put this?
It's funny you should mention that because we all knew each other and hung out, but before. Maybe middle school into high school.
Yeah.
Me and Jay used to hang out a lot.
Sure.
And Derek and Al used to hang out a lot, but we were just on two separate factions, although we all knew each other and grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And me and Jay used to just mess around and film just silly videos on, the VHS.
Yeah, makes sense.
And unknowing, Derek and Al and their friends were doing the same thing.
Awesome.
So when
with the Portuguese tint to it,
there was some of it in there.
Awesome.
And then as we started getting closer, as we got older, and realizing that we both had, all of us were, pretty much filming these, silly videos. We're like, man, we should be doing this together, and maybe taking it a little further. And the opportunity came to Derek and Al at BCC. Over at the Fall River Public Access, Rick Ribello.
Is that where it started? Fall River Public Access?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to do a show.
That should be their biggest argument for funding.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. No,
because they're constantly in a battle,
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of those whack jobs kind of take it over, and they want to talk politics till their tongue falls out, and it's so messy and sloppy and hateful, and I'm like, oh my God, this is torture. But look at what look at the conduit it was for you guys.
Sure. It really was. It opened up our eyes to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Without that, we used to call the show Ludicrous Speed. Without Ludicrous Speed, there would be no Out of the Gutter. There would be no Portuguese. Nothing. So it really did start there, and it was cool. They let us do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
We did some stupid. Can we swear? We
can swear,
right? We did some stupid shit, man. It was the dumbest thing ever.
But you know what? This was before social media was really taking off.
Yeah.
MySpace.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I know. Believe me. Yeah.
AOL dial-up, man. We were hitting when the movie theater opened up in Swansea. We were there putting postcards on people's cars because we knew people were going to be there watching movies.
You guys were the street team and a star.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you know the grind.
Yeah.
And you guys do know the grind.
Posters up.
When you're the street team and a star act. Right. Then
even today, Mike, we don't we're our own roadies. We're not gonna hire. We don't hire people to do that. You're crazy.
That costs money.
That costs money, Mike. I ain't about to drop.
At the end of the day, you guys are Portuguese.
Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying. I can pay myself to pick up a speaker. Come on, let's do this, guys.
I hear you. Now, so you get it right. Now you get some feedback from people in Greater Florida who get the public access.
Yep.
You start hearing it, right?
Man, just getting stopped randomly. Oh, you guys do that show at midnight. That's us.
Actually, the only thing that really stuck out about that was that people would comment on the Portuguese stuff. That's how we kind of knew.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get because that was a question most people wanted to ask.
Yep.
When was the idea, and whose idea was it? Say, okay, we're gonna take this creative talent that we have playing around with video, but we're gonna mold it and massage it, and it's gonna become a Portuguese first immigration based bit here, and this is the focus we're going to do.
It was an evolution.
It was an evolution.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah, because
Does Andrew Dice Clay come out being the type of motherfucker he is, or does Sam Kinison, doesn't it kind of evolve?
Definitely evolves.
Into like your private focus group, maybe a quasi public focus group, finding out what wins,
works,
what hits.
Yeah, you gotta read the audience.
Fall River really was our focus group, because for the first couple of years we were putting up shows regularly at the Eagle.
Sure.
And
I'm gonna tell you so. I'm gonna bring you back a little bit, maybe. I think this is before the Eagle. When you came on WSAR, you had a show at the old. It's the Our Lady of Light now, but it was something different then. Do you remember that? Do you remember that show that we all went after you guys were on my radio?
It was Taunton. It was in Taunton that you came to see us.
You're right. It wasn't Taunton.
It was Roseland Function Hall.
Yeah, that's right.
And they had Chinese food.
yeah.
Chinese buffet at a Portuguese kids show. We were like, let's do it.
Shame on me for not knowing that. Yeah.
That's old school. Wow, I'm like, I forgot about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it, and like it was like sold out, and it was they had to bring out more tables, and
it was.
And I watched it, and I was like, and I knew then you guys were certainly onto something, okay? But when you guys kicked it into that fourth and fifth gear, I was not surprised. I knew there was a certain chemistry needed to, because let's face it, right? Let's face it. Led Zeppelin couldn't get along. The Police couldn't get along. Right. The Beatles struggled to get along. We'll go on, and the Eagles couldn't get along. Go on and on and on. It is very difficult, okay, to live, travel, create, perform with this, 4 or 5 people, and
it is
all that they bring to the table.
We're our own bosses on top of that,
sure.
So there's a lot of pride and a lot of fights that happen, and ultimately we know the end game, and we come to that agreement, but it doesn't come without battles for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're going to talk about that end game in a little bit, but I knew that there was a synergy, so you can see if it's gonna. I was not surprised. Of course, you guys doing international acts, and you guys getting 10, 15, 20,000 people at some festivals and shows in different parts of the country and the world. Obviously, I don't think anybody really expected that, but I was not surprised that you guys were a working comedic unit, making a living doing it. The chemistry I thought was very real, and the transition from it not just being a Portuguese thing, but it's also a first-generation immigrant thing, which I knew. I lived in Southern California. I knew it would play well with the Mexicans. I knew it would play well in certain parts of the country, and it has.
And you're right about that chemistry thing. Yeah. Like it's still there. I mean, like if you've been to any one of our shows in the past, I want to say 6 months, you've probably seen some of the best improv comedy of our lives. Like we're now on this level that is just insanity. Like people are pounding tables because they're laughing so hard. You know what I mean? And like so we definitely
it was like that the
still
first time we saw you. Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Has any national recognition, people ask a question like something like TV for Impractical Jokers, or has anybody tried to do any type of development with you guys for TV, for a series or something?
We've been approached in the past, but it's never materialized. I mean, we love it. The last thing that we've had is someone from a friend of a friend that works at Just for Laughs somebody from Just for Laughs sent somebody to see us in Canada, and we're hoping that maybe that would open up a door. But you know what, it's nothing that we've ever. It's just we know that we're a niche. We know that we have, and we're happy with the success that we've got. If something else opened up from that, no shit, we take it, obviously. But at the same time, we know that we're, that there's a shelf life for this kind of thing, and we're prepared for that as well, so. But
you guys have done a good job extending that shelf life. Right? You guys have done a good job.
Consistently reinventing yourself.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question, okay? Your first big gig, let's say like at the Eagle. I'm not talking about the big gig. Like we're gonna get to bigger gigs, but you first and you guys used to invest, rent the hall, sell the tickets. So the financial burden and the promotional burden, I've done that a lot also. That's a whole other animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now when I go to do a remote for somebody, I says, are you hiring me as a remote to entertain, or you hire me as a remote to entertain and put asses in the seats? Because that's a whole different motherfucking dynamic there.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it's a whole different kind of pressure. I remember you guys doing that. But let's say your first big gig here, when you guys are nervous in the back, saying, "Oh man, it's happening." Like this is.
That would have to be our first show at BCC.
Yeah.
First show at BCC.
The first show we ever put on at BCC, 2004, October.
They opened up the top mezzanine. And
Sean,
cool.
Sean, who was the stage manager there, came back. He's like, "Hey guys, we had to open up the top." We were like,
"Whoa,
oh man,
yeah,
those postcards at the mall worked."
Hustling.
That's great. But okay, now let's go back to where we were before, right? But let's say it needs a shelf life, and everything has a shelf life.
Of course.
But what you said before, Derek, which gave me goosebumps, is you guys are. I mean, the homework's done, man. I mean, you guys didn't cheat the grind. You guys have put this process in. So when you're performing, I'm not surprised how razor sharp you guys are, because that's what you do. You're living it.
Right.
Yeah. And perfecting it every time we're up there.
And perfecting it every time we're up there. How many shows are you going to do? You guys going to have thousands.
I don't even think we've ever counted, but it's probably in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
There was a time we were doing a show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
With
traveling.
At one point, it was like when we were just we kind of blew up right away. It was 2014, 15. Yeah. We were doing it was California, Boston, California, Boston, California, it was Canada. It was nuts. Yeah. It was nuts.
How about the Portuguese pockets in Newark and places?
Oh yeah, we're there a lot.
Stuff like that.
We're there a lot too, all the way up to Philly.
To Philly.
We've done shows out. Actually, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We
were just in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania,
doing a show out there.
There's pockets all over, and we've pretty much found every one of them. We've not been to everyone just because it hasn't materialized, but we've been to almost.
Right.
I think it's funny that we've probably been to more Portuguese communities in North America than probably anybody else. Think about it. I mean,
you guys are ambassadors. I mean, you guys are working ambassadors. You're for it, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in about a month we'll be in Beaumont, Texas.
Oh,
right. Beaumont, Texas.
You know,
and
watch out for the sheriff in Beaumont, Texas.
We were in Dallas last year, and it was a blast. I mean, I was just I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The whole state is just so full of really super friendly people. It's a really good community down there. And
Austin too, right? Huge
Austin. And there's a lot of Portuguese people in the Houston area.
Florida, Idaho. We've been in the middle of Idaho. Buell, Idaho. Yeah. Been there 3 times.
Shout out my favorite people out there. I love it.
For real.
Now, how do you get booked out there? Do you guys have an agent or
me?
That's you.
Me.
So why not grinding? That boy, man.
Yep, absolutely.
And social media helps too with content putting out. So a club sees it, they contact
people.
us.
We've been in the game so long now. There's not a lot of new places, so it's just mostly me calling up old friends. Hey, how you doing? Let's do a show again. Let's team up. We'll hit the club up and we'll make something happen. At this point, we've eliminated.
Do you take risks anymore and take on the promotional burden and all? And
yeah. I was just about to say we've eliminated the middleman in many cities. We do it all. We'll rent the hall. Even in Canada, we'll rent the hall. Yeah. We'll put up ticket sales, everything.
And a lot of people don't.
That's balls.
They
right
haven't.
There,
a lot of people don't.
It's been us in the ass. It's been us in the ass. In this business. Yeah. This business is unforgiving. You know what I mean? And if you don't get. It could be anything. It could be oh man, you guys booked a show on the same night of a huge wedding. Half the community's at this wedding, so it's happened. It's happened, But
there's I was gonna
it's
say,
usually worth it.
There's a lot too, people that want to promote and do this, and they just it's antiquated. They're not up to date. They're not using technology. You know, it's like
yeah.
Derek's like fighting for them to do online tickets.
Yeah,
Like let people buy tickets from their phone. They're on it all day.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and people are like, oh, we do it the old way. I'm like, no.
And at that point,
that first immigration culture dies hard, man.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? I have a new media marketing, sales, advertising business as one of some of the businesses that I have in. If I'm getting ready to close a sale, sometimes I got to call the nephew from upstairs or the niece who's working behind the counter to say, "Listen, tell your dad, tell your uncle, this is the way."
yeah.
You know, it's in. But again, adapt and adjust, right?
They do, and sometimes they don't do it right, and it does affect the brand too, because you know perception's reality, and people are going to blame us first anyway.
Let me tell you something right now. There's only been one comic in the history of comedy to sell out Madison Square Garden. You know that I found that unbelievably hard.
Dice Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, what you guys are doing,
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, think about that. Only one person could put 17,000 people in that arena.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, what you guys are doing is amazing. Did your family give you any blowback? Did your friends? Did the culture? Former in New Bedford can be an unforgiving place.
Yeah.
There are some simple motherfuckers walking around out here. Okay, and this was a question that people online wanted to ask. Did anybody? You guys get any blowback? Says, "Oh, that's who couldn't see through the trees, that thought it was disrespectful to your culture."
Yeah.
You know, because one thing I noticed about Portuguese people, and I love them, and I wish I was Portuguese, and I think everybody in forever, if you accept that, most of my friends are. I mean, I would say 80% of my friends are.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, but Portuguese people are very like the Sardinas. I live there. You know, I eat their supper. Blah, blah, blah. We're eating at the head of the table. It treats you unbelievably. But they can be hot on their own.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They can be hot on their own. Talk to me about that a little bit. Like,
you know, it's funny because the only like real feedback I get, like our parents are very supportive.
Sure.
You know, my dad was alive. God bless him. Knock on wood. Like he was at every show because he knew it was like it's a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, we're not like here purposely trying to
Sure.
ruin our image of the Portuguese community.
Nobody's more
Right?
proud of the Portuguese than you guys are.
Right. You know, I think the only
end of the
feedback
day.
I get from my mom is just my pronunciation and how shitty my Portuguese is. That's where.
That's the insulting
That's the
part.
insulting part.
You're making us look bad. You can't talk for shit.
But you know, you got to develop a thick skin, whether it's this or just doing anything that you're going to throw out to the public.
Sure.
Because they're going to have everyone has a word now. Everyone has a voice online,
Yeah.
trolls or not. You know, so you have to develop a thick skin, and you know, some things people actually give you constructive criticism, and that's great. We try to keep up with all the comments that we
Who's
can.
giving
you
you
know?
the constructive? Like, who's qualified?
Could
to
be
give you
anybody.
guys?
Could be
Who's
anybody.
qualified to give you that? Though?
Today, anybody.
Today,
Anybody.
Oh, we're
Anybody.
talking about everybody's. Since Kobe Bryant died, everybody's in the traffic. That it was a 15-mile ride that would have taken them 3 hours to get there because of traffic. We all know that. But seriously, who are you guys really going to listen to and say, okay, you know something? Hey man, like this guy's been through it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there may be 20 guys walking around, 4 of them that may have somewhat of a shit experience. My brother possibly. Maybe somebody who's another performer or whatever. But so there wasn't much blowback about you guys.
In the beginning, I mean, yeah, because we're new, and I think historically, Portuguese people have a hard time laughing at ourselves.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know?
Yeah, of course. It's therapeutic, but you're right.
You know, for a long time, and not just that, like our parents' generation, also very uneducated. You know, a 4th grade education, so they don't get it. They hear the accent and they're thinking, okay, this son of a bitch is making fun of me. But in fact, we're kind of just celebrating, you know, like, and we just, and nowadays too, like our comedy is not like really about this is what a Portuguese person is. It's more of like, what would happen if we put a Portuguese guy in this situation, you know? And I think since we've started kind of focusing on that style, I think we've just been less offensive to people. You know what I mean?
I never found you offensive, but I understand where your parents are coming from. My father's family's from Alabama. They moved to the Division Street. They grew up down below the hill, all Portuguese neighborhood. The word greener was a bad word, and it was used very, very hatefully.
Yeah.
More so when I was a kid.
Even
Yeah,
us
you don't
growing
really
up, we
see
used to
it.
do yeah.
49. How old are you guys?
40.
Okay. So yeah, you must have got a little bit of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, we caught the greenhorn comments.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but, I
Greenhorn,
mean,
Portuguese, like we've been called that, and we know it's very.
And the more we travel, the more we hear other versions and variations.
Yeah, pork chops, a big one. You know what I mean? Like
chops.
That's it. That's
another one.
Yeah.
You know,
the pork chop, porcos. That's another one. Porcos.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And let's face it, this country has a bad history
Right.
of how they treat their first generation immigrants.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Greenhorn isn't even originated in
No,
Portuguese.
exactly.
It's for Irish, you know.
Exactly. They're fighting words where I'm from, though, back in the day, but it's now like the N word. It's kind of thrown around a little bit too much. I'm not sure how I feel it, but now it's almost like a term of endearment, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like when you guys
Some people still get offended by it. They're like, don't ever say the word Portuguese. But you know what? Not everyone knows how to even pronounce Portuguese. Like I have a shirt that said Portuguese on it, and this guy in the middle of we were in the airport in Washington State. He's like, "Oh, you're Portuguese, huh?" He's like, he didn't know. He's like, and I'm like, this guy just called me Portuguese. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know you two. I don't know you well enough. Hey, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna be right back in a little bit. Don't move. This is fascinating. We'll be back right after this.
My house and my property are the biggest investment that my husband and I have ever made. That's why, after a bad storm destroyed our deck, I called Gemini Home Improvement. They gave us a fair estimate, were professional, and most importantly, they did a great job. I highly recommend Gemini Home Improvement. If you are looking to fix your roof, vinyl siding, or decking, call Gemini Home Improvement.
Call Gemini Home Improvement at 401-309-7092. That's 401-309-7092. They make your vision come true. It's what they do. Gemini Home Improvement.
Do you want to feel radiant, beautiful, and confident? Do you want to feel 10 years younger? Come to Spa Number 5, the Face Fox, located at 580 Wood Street in Bristol, Rhode Island. From Botox fillers to laser fillers and top-of-the-line skincare, Spa Number 5 has all you need to feel beautiful again. Go to spa-5.com or visit us at 580 Wood Street in Bristol, Rhode Island. Take advantage of all our fall specials happening now. Spa Number 5, the Face Fox. Party Dress Express is your one-stop shop for a dress for any occasion. Whether it's a prom, a graduation, a special night on the town, or your wedding. Party Dress Express has over 15,000 dresses in stock and prices to fit any budget. Party Dress Express is located at the Tower Mill, 657 Quarry Street in Fall River, Mass. Open 7 days a week. Call Party Dress Express at 508-677-1575. That's 508-677-1575.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Get the Portuguese. Sometimes I wish they can hear us talk during commercial break, and that's coming here.
Yeah.
We are gonna wire in sound and video this entire place. We're gonna have to sign like a waiver when you walk in, because sometimes the most fascinating conversations happen at that table out there, not this table out here, which we're afraid from. You guys know the production meetings and all of that. It's great. Speaking of that, you guys ever? Have you guys like gone into other ways of income? Like one thing I'm thinking about doing right now is trying to monetize YouTube.
Yep.
Have you guys started that at all?
Yeah, we have a social media manager that takes care of all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
YouTube is a big web, and if you're not really
it's tough to
familiar,
navigate.
man, there's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on, but yeah, I mean, we monetize everything that we can.
Facebook.
Facebook, we monetize Facebook.
Explain to me about the YouTube being difficult, because I'm considering me and my brother going to do our project together, which we haven't done in a long time. We get some tapes from him in China. We got a lot of stuff going on. So the monetization of YouTube is difficult, you said?
I don't even, dude, to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you
there's
exactly
a lot too,
the requirements
like,
now.
Claiming, there's like copyright claims, and then now there's like a lot of shady businesses that are trying to claim everything as being theirs. So there's things you got to like protect when you're putting stuff out there.
Sure. I mean, for us, because we put out original content, that's kind of why.
We're going to put out original content as well. Yeah. But we're going to put up some old content too. some old high school basketball games.
Nice.
Chris breaking the record in China. Some other stuff, some other newsy stuff from around here. I know the high schools don't have a copyright claim.
Right.
Okay. But so yeah, maybe I should talk to that social media manager if you guys don't want to.
Yeah,
officially
hook
set
you
up a
up. He's
conversation.
probably watching right now. What's up, Carlos?
Is he really?
What's
Yeah.
up, Los? What's up,
Now,
Los?
so you guys are making money other ways from this, the merchandising.
Right.
Yeah, well, the online store is just picked up. Every
Yeah.
year it's picked up. ShopPortuguese.com. And we, started just selling T-shirts, and then it just grew. Home goods. We're selling frozen foods. We're selling boule lèvres. It's that Portuguese, like, English muffin from Central Bakery.
Yeah.
It's been, just
All
expanding.
the foodies are falling in love with that, right?
Oh, Portugal's blowing up, man. Portugal's blowing up in that
Portugal's
scene.
hot right
Yeah,
now.
that culture.
Portugal's hot. The food's hot. The wine's hot. Everything right now is just. I mean, look what Mike's doing.
They're
with
viewed as very
Portugalia.
progressive. Their
Yes.
politics.
Yeah.
People going there. It started with the drug thing. It's now
Yeah,
the
right.
tourism thing.
And now, like, the Azores are just being discovered, these islands. And,
Yeah.
we were just
New
there.
York Times it was one of the top
Exactly.
destinations in 2020.
We were just there last week. It's just rain all.
Yeah.
It's not a
It
travel
was
time.
miserable weather, but it was
we
still
went to the
great.
hot springs, and the place is still full of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people in there, just taking pictures
Still
and just
some
like.
tourists there in
still
January.
tourists,
It's
yeah.
crazy. A lot of Spanish tourism. A lot of Spanish.
Really?
Spaniard. Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people talking Spanish.
They call it the Hawaii of Europe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Hawaii of the Atlantic.
Is it that good?
Oh,
It is.
awesome.
It's better.
Really?
It's better. It's better. I mean, I can't personally say I've never. Well, I've been to Hawaii, but I've never really truly enjoyed Hawaii properly. But I can say that to me, I prefer to go there than anywhere in the Caribbean or anything like that. Because not just the connection, but just because it's just the weather's
Right.
perfect. I mean,
And San
scenery's
Miguel, such a
great.
big island, you have a little bit of new age that's developing and still growing on the
Yeah.
island, and you still have the old
Culture.
classic,
Yeah.
the rustic parts of the island.
Yeah.
So you get a lot.
And
of
I hope they
everything.
don't lose that because sometimes it can become too
It's-
popular.
Yeah,
It's
no,
gonna
yeah.
get lost. It's
You
gonna.
don't
get
want the
lost.
trash
It's,
coming in.
it's
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
It's
Eventually
already.
it's-
It's already like the summertime. It's already like jamming.
It's like a nightclub.
It's inevitable.
It's like back in the day when people used to go out and used to socialize over a beer or used to have to pick up a girl like in a bar setting.
Right.
Now it's like these kids buried with their thumbs.
Yep.
Oh, it's
You know,
crazy.
but
It's crazy.
like,
It's funny. We got to make that comment before our show. Like, hey, watch the show, enjoy it, but don't live stream the show. Enjoy the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Put your phones down. We got to we've been actually saying that because people just sit there, cell phones up through a whole show. I'm like,
And
yo,
they watch the show through their cell phone
through the
screen.
cell phone.
It's
Enjoy the
just
show.
like,
Put your
I'm
arm
like,
down. There's people behind
Wow.
you trying to watch.
No
they're
one's
missing
gonna.
it. They're missing it, man.
Yeah.
They're missing
Yeah.
it. They're missing it.
Something intimate.
They're not
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
We're in your face. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy
And
it.
the
Enjoy
sound
moment
it's gonna
with us.
sound like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
come
not.
on.
It's not even
Yeah.
gonna be worth
The speakers
keeping.
blaring. There's people
Yeah.
clapping. You're recording from your
You're
cell
gonna
phone.
drop it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna drop signal 100%.
You know, yeah. All right, so we talked about the BCC gig. Let's talk about the first national gig that you're like, wow.
Man,
Sold out Vancouver, I would say, was probably like the first time we were like,
was a big
whoa.
How many people there?
We had, we sold the Michael J. Fox Theater out. I think there was 800 or
Yeah.
600 maybe 600.
yeah, Michael J. Fox there.
We did, yeah, and we actually we hired like a film guy to record
Awesome.
it and an audio person to record it, and we made a DVD out of it. Live
There
in
you go.
Yeah, live in Vancouver.
So did you do that on the fly, or was that the plan?
That was the
Nope.
plan.
Well, it was the plan after we
we
found out they
realized.
sold out.
Yeah,
We were like,
that's
oh,
what- so you
shit,
did it
know.
on the fly.
Yeah. We were like, oh, this is like, I was
Okay,
like, this is a
let's
perfect
grab it, yeah.
opportunity. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So we asked the people that were organizing the show, I'm like, can you find a videographer for us? And they did. They found them. They put us in contact with them, and they came in. It was a husband and wife team. They filmed the whole thing. So yeah, that was probably the first like. Whoa.
How many DVDs have you sold of that show, you think?
Oh, we sold out the whole individual run, 2,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad investment, huh?
Not
Not
at
at
all.
all.
Not at all.
man.
You know, and it's these small things that pay off in big dividends, and
Sure.
you know, it's just in our family.
But it's your business savvy. It's just they say, hey, listen, man, let's not, while we're doing it, let's try to get everything we can out of
Right.
it.
Right.
If we're gonna give this emotional energy on stage, let's film it. Let's try to get
And
some post-
only if it makes sense, like
Sure,
like
yeah.
we don't charge for pictures or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Like we, we don't try to like nickel and dime our fans. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah,
We
yeah.
try to give them value for what we're offering. But yeah, if there's money to be made, like we're always looking at that, and you have to because there's you gotta skin a cat multiple ways, as they say. You know
that DVD is played holidays, people getting together.
Oh, of course.
Let's go watch it.
I mean, we have people now that are like, your Christmas CD is on rotation during the holidays.
Yeah.
Christmas CD is so old, but like the demand for it's still there, so we're always ordering them and getting them there. And of course, there's people on, and the beauty of YouTube and now Facebook with the playlists. They're like, oh, we have family get-togethers. They send us videos of the family watching our videos. Watching them at home. And
reaction videos.
Reaction videos. And it's
that's
just,
what we need. We need to ask our fans for those.
That's a good feeling.
Reaction videos, that'd be hot.
Yeah,
that would be.
No, we're blessed. We're blessed. But you're right. It's all about maximizing when you can, because otherwise you just leave money on the table, and that's no good either.
Exactly. How much time you guys got left, you think?
Whatever time you need.
No. Thank you.
15 minutes, and then we're done.
How much grind you got left in you?
Not much. No. I don't see. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't see us touring in this capacity in 2021. Which is crazy because I'm still like I'm 2020 is almost like 90% booked at this point. Yep. So we already have shows booked in 2021, but I can't the travel is killing me. Right. I got 2 kids, I got a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. I want to spend time with them at this point. They need me now, and I've done so much with these guys that I'm okay with slowing down the touring. We're still gonna do shows. I mean, we're never not gonna do shows. But especially shows like in Toronto, cities like we have our cities that we can set up shop anytime, and they're so good to us. Like Toronto, we're doing right now a weekend there at the end of February.
Toronto's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah, us too.
Toronto's a truly international city.
Love it.
Yeah,
forward-thinking people. Great city.
They got Portuguese flag.
It was a whole neighborhood. It was a whole neighborhood.
Signs.
Little Portugal. It's on Dundas. It's just and we're lucky. We were on our 3rd show. We sold out the first 2, and we had to add a 3rd show right now in Toronto. So there's always going to be Portuguese kids shows, but this touring like this full time, man. This might be.
You're gonna hit and run for the cash eventually. You see,
we're developing other shows and developing other things.
Yeah,
too.
That's the thing.
We might be slowing down touring, but it doesn't mean we don't have shows that are going to be doing work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got other things in the works that are happening
right
now. So.
Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
We have other development, like the Portuguese wedding show, My Big Fat Portuguese Wedding, which we always, we just have a new cast.
Which you produce as opposed to
right.
And we star in it now, but we've got a couple of new shows that we're working on, which I don't want to divulge the name of, but these 2, we got 2 brand new things that we're working on diligently right now, and it's I'm super excited about them. I'm just so excited about this.
And we're just developing talent that come through our doors. Like this, the wedding show is a large group of actors that we've auditioned, and they're here and they're doing stuff with us. So it's we're finding ways of growing,
your footprint.
The footprint
is important, and your trailblazing mentality is gonna shine a light for young Portuguese kids and young kids.
And that's actually one of the things that we're doing, which I will talk a little bit about is something that we're working on is. Doing improv courses here locally for the youth. That's something that we've really wanted to do. We just couldn't because we've been so busy. But that's one passion project that we want to do because we love working with kids, and we see them at our shows all the time. They wanna do this stuff, and improv is good for more than just comedy. It's good for self-esteem. So many things it benefits you for. So for us, I think that's an awesome way to contribute and give back to the kids in this area who've been their parents have been our fans and now they're our fans. So it's just something that we've always wanted to do. So that's definitely on the slate for 2021.
Sure. What's the biggest crowd you ever played?
15,000.
Yeah. Where was that?
California.
For what, a festival?
Yep. It was the Carlos Vieira Foundation. They put on this festival. This huge Portuguese festival.
What community was this at?
is in Turlock, California, right in the valley.
Right in the valley.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys are on the road, how do you live? You guys treat yourself. You guys aren't staying in super rate motels or anything anymore, right?
No, I mean we're just
nothing under 3 stars. Right, 3-star hotel. Okay.
We can't mess around with that.
We can't be going.
You guys going out anymore?
Yeah, of course. We actually, the times that we go out is usually after our show. We'll hang out with our fans. We'll actually, some fans like most of the places we perform at, they've got like a bar attached, to either the theater or a restaurant. So we'll go there. We'll have some fun. We'll commiserate with our fans and then
But it's funny because people always ask like, oh, you guys must go out every week. And that's expensive, It's expensive life to be living on the road.
Live on the road, especially because a lot of these athletes go broke. A lot of these live on the road. It's triple what it is living where you are.
Our accountants like, guys, you spent X amount of dollars on travel in every year we do our taxes. I'm like, wow, it's a humongous chunk of our costs. Like when we at the end of the day,
it's if the hotel has a pool.
That's our treat right there. Yeah, chilling out.
I don't need to leave. It's fine. I've been here already. So
exactly.
I have a mall back home. I'll shop online. It's cool.
Once in a while, we'll do something fun. Like we went to Yosemite, National Park.
My brother lived in Yosemite. A bear broke into his house.
Get out of here! Yeah, we actually saw quite a. It was actually really. It was a good time. It was a good time. But that's we've been to these towns and cities so many times. None left to see. There's only so many times.
Paris yet or all of you?
No.
Any place that you want to do?
Yeah, England. We've been trying to do London for a little bit now. There's a community out there. They've been asking for us. Huge. And South Africa is another one that's been asking for us for years now. That one we're a little more apprehensive to do.
Dangerous, very dangerous.
One of the most dangerous countries. Yeah. But you know what? There our friends are there, and we wanna do something for that. But
if the money's right, we can make it work.
Money talk. Hey, as my father would say, money talks, bullshit walks.
That's right. That's awesome. Hey guys, man, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming by, man.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
I don't think you'll ever be played out here already. I think that as long as you keep tweaking it and reinventing yourself, I think it's a career. And it's an amazing story. A book? You ever think about writing a book?
We've thought about it, yeah.
I put you in touch with a couple of people that we've had some success with doing that. I think that's an amazing story. I think it's the American dream, isn't it?
It is.
It is in a lot of ways.
It is in a lot of ways.
And
the
our
American
parents,
dream,
our parents came here to give us better lives, and we could have completely.
Did your parents come here legally?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah.
Did they outstay their green card? Did they outstay their visa and all?
I don't know. I don't know. My dad's not a citizen. My dad's still a Portuguese citizen. He's a legal alien. He's a legal alien. Yeah.
Legal alien. Sure.
Yeah.
Be careful with that whack job running around with the presidency. You know what I mean?
No comment. Portuguese kids don't comment on politics.
Oh man,
that's part of the reason why we're still here. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. Yeah.
It gets ugly online.
It gets ugly out there.
Because we have fans on both sides.
Yeah. So
we have fans who are they're very conservative. We have very liberal fans. So we do not tread.
As any entertainer they should tread very lightly.
Right.
Unless it's like Richard Nixon or something where we some people may say, I just try to remind people that this country was built on immigrants. Okay.
Yeah. And I agree with you there. I agree with you there. And I think I will say this, even though I don't comment on politics, I do find it shocking how some of our people that are here talk about immigrants just because they right. And I'll be honest with you,
it bothers me.
I get it. The whole thing like my parents came here legal, but if you heard stories that my dad told me. It didn't matter if my father came here legally. My father was discriminated against because he didn't speak English properly, and we're doing the same thing to these people, and that I don't agree with. I mean, that's just me personally. That's how I feel about it.
What people have to realize, and that's an amazing point, is today's Guatemalan, today's El Salvadorian, today's Mexican was yesterday's
Italian, Portuguese, absolutely.
And when are we going to learn? Yeah,
Right.
When are we going to learn? What can these Guineas and Mix and Portuguese do for our country? Well, look at the masonry. Look at their neighborhoods.
Right.
Look at their work ethic. Look at this. Now you drop down and you do it again. You know, but let's lay off the politics, guys. Man, anything I can ever do, I'm a big fan. I'm proud.
Thank you, Mike.
Proud of what you guys have done. We need more stories like this. It's a real Fall River, man, right here.
This is real Fall River.
I am the Hurricane. We're on 663 Bedford Street. We got the Portuguese kids in the house. Well, thank you. It was awesome. Peace.